I was in Montreal on Snow White, so.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah, it's very fun.
What is it?
It's a Tarsem extravaganza.
Chris, can you say your name for me real quick?
Chris Miller.
And you have speed anytime you're ready.
Thank you. So, guys, can you tell me why did you each want to take on this role, or take on the role that you took for this movie?
Well, for me, it was a big challenge to take on the role of Zeus, especially with Tarsem's idea of where he wanted Zeus to come from. You know, he didn't want him to be this obviously a traditional look of Zeus is the old man, Laurence Olivier, Liam Neeson, and so he was going to look young, even though he was old, and so that presented a lot of challenges for myself. So that was basically what drew me to the script. What drew me to the project essentially was Tarsem Singh. You know, to work with that man was something I respect his work. I've followed his films, and you know, he has an amazing catalogue of work. And to work with somebody like Tarsem, you know, you're going to have a very unique experience. And his visual detail in the film, you're very aware of as you're shooting the movie that he's taking into account all of the things, not just the whole thing. From tiny moments in the film, you know it's got his stamp on it.
Yeah.
How about you, Fred?
Well, I don't want to be boring, but it is exactly the same thing. Tarsem, he makes this movie. This is a classic genre movie, and Tarsem has elevated it to be something unique in its genre and a visual masterpiece at the same time. It's something extraordinary, and even from the get-go, you could see from the way he was structuring everything that this was not the norm. This was something special, something unique, and that is something which you don't walk away from. It's something you see and you run at and you try your very hardest to be a part of.
You guys both did a lot of stunt training and training with your bodies for this movie. Can you talk about that process and what it was like to prepare for the role?
It was intense. It's the most intense physical thing I've ever done, and thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. To be sent to Montreal to work with experts in training, physical training, personal training, and work with stuntmen, and you know, I worked with Henry. We trained together for 7 weeks, and it was immense. It was really an experience that basically changed me physically for life. I mean, I've never really gone back to the physique I had before this film. It was something changed my discipline and my education of what diet means and training. It was yeah, that's basically what my training consisted of.
How about for you, Hen?
Well, I was training for 6 months before we started the movie, in a very Tabata style training. All bodyweight stuff. It's high repetition, low rest, very cardiovascular, and it's not going to build on too much mass. I think Tarsem's brief was he didn't want big guys. He wanted sort of very ripped, very lean, very Greek statuesque type thing. And just followed that. At one point I was training 8 hours a day in the gym, and it was a combination of the Tabata circuit training kind of thing in the morning, and then we moved on to boxing, and then it was martial arts training, so less of a cardiovascular type thing and more of a mental capacity to try and retain all that information, followed by something fun at the end of the day, which would be a combination of the cardiovascular and martial arts. It would be something like knife fighting or that kind of thing, just to keep it fun and keep it entertaining.
Speaking of fun, you guys would get a day off once in a while from the training. Did you guys ever get to go out and do anything fun around?
Yeah, they used to call it a cheat day, wasn't it?
Cheat day, yeah.
Yeah, where because your body can't keep going when you're training that amount and that intensely. So, thank God for Roger. Thank God he gave us this cheat day, because it was without it, I think we'd have just imploded.
It would have become very unpleasant, nasty people.
We wouldn't have been happy people to be around. But this cheat day was nice. We got to, hang out.
You got to drink and have fun and sort of, relax on the diet and enjoy yourself.
Have a good steak and fries, and Montreal does good steaks.
Yeah, it does.
Very good. Well, thank you guys very much.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yes, thanks.